So why do you think that the mainstream media fails to report any sort of alternative narrative?
Well, that's a very good question. I mean, right from early on, I always felt that there was a bigger, narrative. There was something, behind this. When I remember being on a podcast it was basically a panel, a live Zoom panel with a number of other sort of experts from different disciplines. I think in early, maybe sort of June of 2020, maybe even before that, when the first lockdown was in its most sort of rigorous, and they were talking. All the other people on the panel were talking about the Great Reset. I actually never heard that expression. I genuinely hadn't heard that expression until I was on this panel, and these others were talking about it in very, very positive terms. They were saying the same words that Klaus Schwab of the World Economic Forum said about it. So this is the opportunity for a great reset, and they were saying that they were very positive about it. They were saying things like this: the lockdowns had massively improved air quality in London, and that we needed to keep this up, because of the, this would benefit, this would help us fight climate change, and that, and they were, a lot of these people, of course, were academics who, I mean, this is a joke, isn't it? Academics, they were the ones who were, pushing for hardest for the most harsh lockdowns, and they absolutely the ones who were least affected by the negative aspects of lockdowns. They still expected their sort of deliveries to be, to come to their door from, people who were expected to work, and come into contact with virus, which they didn't have to do by being, sitting there with their laptops, in their gardens and sort of nice sunny weather and all that sort of stuff. They just, I mean, not just academics, but of course the politicians as well. But that sort of elite class of people were the ones who were most pushing the harshest lockdowns, had the least to lose from it. They didn't lose any salary, these people, and stuff like that. And so you've got all that, but they were talking about that. They were talking in very positive terms, that this was a great opportunity. And I think that's always been, I think that's, this opportunity to reshape the world, and greater control, move towards, we're seeing all of the, I mean, I said at the time after that it seems to me that the COVID lockdowns were a precursor for sort of what the climate lockdowns, because that's what all these people were asking for. They were saying, this is how it needs to be. We need to have more, more people working from home. We need to have less people traveling, cut down on, all types of travel. That whole, that it was just leading to what was effectively that WF 2030 agenda kind of like stuff. And I think that the vaccination program was always, now I understand, it was all about getting necessary control to move towards this sort of digital IDs and eventually, international digital currency, that type of thing. Having it as a necessary requirement to travel, for example, you've got to be, you've got to have your proof of your vaccine status to travel, and having that on a digital device, on your iPhone or whatever, on your mobile phone, and that then gets people kind of like into the state of mind whereby it's moving towards the sort of the Chinese sort of digital control system there, and it just seems to me that there's that. It's all about that inevitable movement, and I think that that has been trying. I can't think of any other reason why why there has been that refusal to anybody challenging the COVID narrative is a threat to that longer term narrative of kind of like digital control.
Thanks for watching the Radical Health Rebel YouTube channel. If you enjoyed this video, please be sure to share with your friends and family, or share via your social media. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell icon to receive notifications of new video clips from the podcast. And if you want to watch the full episode, completely ad-free, plus premium content, and join the Radical Health Rebel Patreon community, head on over to the Radical Health Rebel Patreon channel at www.patreon.com/Radical Health Rebel. Thanks again for watching.